Hello, my name is Franziska Fleischanderl and I'm the ambassador of the Early Music Day 2025. My dissertation is about the history, the repertoire and the playing techniques of the Italian Salterio in the 18th century. This means that I was researching where the instrument was played and who played the Salterio, in which halls, in which operas, in which schools it was taught, which pieces were performed on the Salterio, which original repertoire is there for the Salterio. And most importantly, I was researching on the instrument the 3 different playing techniques that were used on just one instrument. Well, most of all, I like to share the instrument itself so that the public hears the sound of the Salterio, because it's still not very much used in early music concerts, particularly the really baroque version of the Salterio. What I like to share most about it is very refined and different sound colors that you can bring out of the instrument. So the magic of the vibrating strings in different overtone spectrums, this is like the most beautiful thing for me about the Salterio. I think Venice is like a city where you can feel the music everywhere. Somehow it's hidden. I think in Venice, music is really alive. Like the water is having its pulse. It's a slow city, you cannot go fast from A to B. You hear the claps of the shoes of the people. For me, Venice is a very sensual city and this connects a lot to music. It's a sensual and a slow city and you have to listen to it. It was really a miracle that this instrument came into my life, because I never looked for such an instrument. 10 years ago I was not interested at all in the baroque Salterio, because I was focused on contemporary music with the modern hackbrett. And then it was really magic that there was the occasion to buy this original Salterio that was made by Michele Barbi in the year 1725. And it was not restored. I've seen a photo of it and I really fell in love immediately with this instrument, even though I didn't focus in early music. And so I went there the next day and I looked at the instrument and I immediately decided to buy it. Then I went home with such an instrument, and that meant later that I really had to change my life, because I could not continue like my artistic life in contemporary music and do research for the Salterio and rediscover the playing techniques. It was quite terrifying to take this decision to change the life, and this happened from one moment to the next. So it was quite a call, I would say. It was, I was not looking for it, it was just coming to me, and then I tried my best to honor the instrument and to make it heard again. The composer that should be most heard on the Salterio is Florido Ubaldi, because he was the most important virtuoso in the entire 18th century in Italy. And he composed sonatas, of which I could discover 12 sonatas by him during my dissertation research. They are really very complex and very beautiful. I mean complex not in composition-wise, but as a player they are very challenging. This is really a thing that I really want to make audible the next years. Florido Ubaldi, my big idol. The best way to celebrate the Early Music Day, I think, is to catch up with some colleagues or your ensemble members and play some music together. I mean, to really study and enjoy playing, this would be the best for the Early Music Day. I would recommend maybe some violin sonatas by Tartini, because they give such a light and beautiful atmosphere that makes life very enjoyable. This is maybe one choice for my Early Music Day 2025. I think the Salterio is a good example for the need of diversity in early music, because it was an instrument that was not so much represented on the stages of early music, and it brings a new sound color to the ensembles and the orchestras that we haven't had before. And moreover, the Salterio has 3 different playing techniques that make a different sound, so it's diversity in itself. It's very important and very healthy for the early music scene that everyone tries to develop his own unique artistic identity, to find his or her own voice, interpretation, repertoire, so that we are not afraid to go to the archives or to think a bit out of the mainstream pieces that we know already, to go a bit further, to stay curious and to really try to find your own way of playing, your own style. The most exciting thing is that it makes people listen, because its sound is very spheric and it's very connecting to people. In the 18th century there are some sources that say that the Salterio was the instrument that touched the hearts of the audience the most. It was also used for music therapy. And I think this spheric, ethereal sound somehow talks to the people on a very deep level. And this is what I find most intriguing on the Salterio compared to other instruments. I think I would have preferred to perform for Antonio Vivaldi, to have his opinion or get to know his approach to music, what he would have thought about my interpretations of his music. This would be like the most interesting thing.